We have lots to talk about. As usual, we try to give you a very content-rich program every day here at noon on the Buckmaster Show. Zaira Livier has joined me in studio, and Zaira is a spokesperson for one of the two. They're the marquee propositions on the ballot. One, of course, we've heard a lot about. That's Prop 205. That's the legalizing the recreational use of marijuana. And then Proposition 206, that's the one that would raise the Arizona minimum wage. Zaira is a spokesman for, she's backing Prop 206. Zaira, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Tell me what Prop 206 would do specifically.
Prop 206 would do several things. To begin, it'll raise the minimum wage to $12 an hour by 2020. This is a stepwise gradual increase. Every year, it'll increase a bit. The biggest jump will be to $10 an hour starting next year, then to $10.50 the year after, to $11 the year after that, and finally to $12 in 2020. It'll also give all Arizona workers the right to earn paid sick time, which we do not have in Arizona. It is quite minimal, but it is something to, a great step in the right direction. For every 30 hours that a worker clocks in, they get 1 hour of paid sick time. If you are a business with 15 employees or less, you can cap that at 3 days per year. If you have 15 or more employees, you must cap that at you can cap that at 5 days per year. So we hope that employees will use that as just a benchmark for their paid sick time, and we hope to give Arizona workers and families some dignified wages and the help that they desperately need.
The latest polling from the Arizona Republic shows this passing, if the vote were today, it passing about 2-1. Are you surprised there's so much support for this?
Absolutely not. I think it's a very common sense initiative. I think if you look around, you see that we have retired folks working when they should be at home enjoying their golden years. We have young people with master's degrees driving cabs on the weekends to make ends meet. We have families having to work 2 or 3 jobs to be able to pay bills, and not enough time is spent at home with their children. Children are being sent to school while they're sick because parents have to choose between working and paying their bills or staying home with their sick child.
The chambers of commerce are pretty much unanimous in Arizona against this, saying that when you raise the minimum wage, you actually that everybody winds up paying for that because the cost of products are going to increase. What do you say to those people?
I say to that, we pay for that anyway. When workers, the number one employer in Arizona is Walmart, and we subsidize their workers. Their workers are on food stamps. They have to get health insurance through the state. They have to get assistance. What we pay for those families to make it either way. It's the tax dollars that subsidize low-wage workers in the end. The other argument against that is I speak to local business owners every day. They already pay their employees above minimum wage. And good business owners know that you can adjust costs from within. This is a cost that always is leveled out. When people have more money in their pockets to spend, they spend it. The working class spends 110% of what they make. That means they spend everything, plus they take out loans, they take out credit. This money just doesn't disappear. It goes right back into our economy. And this is the same argument that we've heard over decades. Every time the minimum wage wants to get raised, we are sold the idea that the sky is going to fall upon us and that we're going to lose a ton of jobs. And the opposite always happens. All you have to really do is go back in time and look at these policies passing and look at what happens. The economy always booms. It is a good step in the right direction. It is beneficial for everyone.
Zaira Livier is with us. Zaira is a spokesperson for, Proposition 206. Let's go to the live line. Doug Martin, who is the owner of this radio station, would like to make a comment or ask a question of Zaira. Go ahead, Doug.
Hi, Zaira. Appreciate you being on, and I believe you really have the right heart in this, wanting to see people make more money and to have a good living wage situation. But what if there's unexpected consequences from this? Because what I'm hearing from business people I know is that they're just going to reduce the number of employees that they have, and they won't hire inexperienced people. So what would you say to workers out there if they lose their jobs, like what's happening in Seattle, where you mentioned that in other places the opposite happens? Well, in Seattle right now, they're reaping the benefits, or actually the unexpected consequences of raising the minimum wage.
I'd have to disagree on that data. I have seen data from Seattle, and it seems that the job market and their economy is at an all-time high. There were a few jobs that were lost, as happens often. Businesses fail for a number of reasons. What we hope is that if there are those businesses that would rather lay people off than pay them a dignified wage, because that's what this is, $12 an hour is a dignified wage, then there are business owners waiting in line to open up businesses that can and will take care of their employees. The data in Seattle is often misrepresented and misunderstood. From what I've seen and I read up often, is everything is booming. Again, businesses close for one reason or another. This hasn't been directly attributed to the wage increase. And again, this is a very stepwise increase. It will not happen overnight. Every year it'll change slightly. I think that 50 cents in a year is more than enough to for a good business owner to be able to adjust and make some changes.
All right, let's go back to our live line. Dan called us at 790-2040. Dan, what's your question?
Yeah, I would like for her to help me out with my business. I've got about $3.5 million invested in the area, and in the last 4 years, I have lost money on every one of these businesses. How can she help me out? If I have to raise anybody's pay, it's going to come directly out of my wife's pocket.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Go ahead, Zaida. How can you help Dan out with this?
Well, again, I'd have to answer that, Dan, with when people in our community have more money to spend, they will spend it. So if you do have to raise wages, we hope that whatever product or whatever business you do have, you also see a boost in the profits coming in. Again, it won't be just money going to the employees. This is money going to the community that we hope shops at your businesses or get services from your businesses. This money goes right back into our economy. It doesn't go into a bank and stay there forever. It will come back to us.
John is next at 790-2040. Hey, John.
Hey, how are you, sir?
Good. What was your question?
So I had a couple comments, questions about the issue at hand. So I work in the restaurant industry, and they're pretty low wages, $9-10 an hour. Mm-hmm. And when we hire dishwashers, we hire them usually at minimum wage. Mm-hmm. If I have to pay that guy $10.50 an hour, $11 an hour, it's going to kill the cooks. But more importantly, we mentioned a minute ago about the sky is falling and nothing really seems bad to happen when we raise prices on wages. But in case we haven't been noticing, the cost of food that I go and buy, my eggs, my milk, my cheese, has skyrocketed immensely. So yes, this does affect every single dollar that goes in my pocket and my friend's pocket and my wife's pocket and my kid's pocket.
Okay. John, let's hear what Zaida has to say. Restaurant workers, what about them? They're going to be impacted. Restaurant owners, for sure, are going to be impacted.
Yeah, definitely. And they're going to be the ones who gain the most. Restaurant employees will go up to $9 an hour rather than $12. And what we know is if we have extra cash, we are going to go out to eat. People are tied into a cost savings economy. When they're making $8 or $9 an hour, all they can afford is McDonald's dollar menu or worse. We hope that restaurants are going to boom, and that is what we've actually seen in Seattle, speaking of that. And right to your point about the fact that the prices have gone up, our wages in Arizona for the past 10 years have only changed a few cents, yet we are paying an incredible amount more for everything, right? So 10 years ago, how much was one cup of coffee? Because I just bought one this morning before I got here, and it was $5.15. So
You've
prices,
still got one in front of you. Is that why you're you're kind of nursing it along, right? Okay.
I have to drink it all day long to make it worth the $5. So you are absolutely right. The prices are skyrocketing, and in Arizona, it has nothing to do with the wages. The wages have not changed in the past 10 years.
All right, Zaira Livier, thank you very much. Where is your, or what is your website that people can get more information?
azhealthyfamilies.org.
You gave up a possible medical career to lobby for this, correct?
Yeah, and I'm actually the regional director on this campaign.
Oh, okay.
As well.
Well, thank you for, I should have gotten your title there properly said at the beginning, the regional director for Proposition 206. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back. It is the Buckmaster Show on a Wednesday on KVOI with live streaming, KVOI.com and at buckmastershow.com.